The employee at this gas station overheard information about a kidnapped child on television news. The girl's mother was extremely miserable when she said that my daughter had been kidnapped for a week. Today would have been her 5th birthday. Janny begs everyone who cares to please help her find the child. That girl's name is Viola, whose identifying characteristics are 3 feet long brown hair and brown eyes. The last time Viola was seen, she was wearing a red floral dress and carrying a toy rabbit. While Nick was concentrating on watching the news, a man with a fierce expression walked in and asked to fill him with 5 gallons of gasoline. Accidentally, while filling up gas, Nick looked through the car window and discovered a toy rabbit inside that was identical to Viola's rabbit. He quickly called the police to report the situation, but the police said it would take another 10 minutes for them to arrive. Nick thought that would take too long and the perpetrator would probably go away. Suddenly, Mark appeared from behind in an extremely scary way. He asked Nick if he had filled his gas tank yet, then continuously cursed and said that the staff at this gas station was crazy and eccentric. Nick didn't pay attention to those curses. He was looking for a way to keep the kidnapper here, because if he went away, there would be no chance to save the child. The man didn't have much time to think. He quickly grabbed a wrench and hit the car's rear light hard. Mark was extremely angry, immediately rushed out of the car and asked, "What the hell are you doing?" and then forced Nick to compensate him for the damage. When Nick said, "I didn't have money," the man pulled him inside the counter to get money, not knowing that this was Nick's plan to buy time. Sure enough, just a few minutes after Mark stepped outside, he saw the police present and blocking the road. Nick quickly reported to a police officer that this man was a kidnapper because he saw Viola's toy rabbit is inside the car. Even though Mark explained that there was definitely a mistake here because he was a university lecturer, the police still asked to check the car. However, after a thorough search, they still couldn't find Viola anywhere. As for the toy rabbit, Mark explained that it belonged to his niece, and besides, this thing was sold a lot in toy stores. In the end, because they could not find evidence, the police had to let Mark leave. Even so, Nick still suspected the man was the kidnapper because he saw candles bought to celebrate a 5-year-old's birthday in the back of the car. On the one hand, Nick pretended to apologize to Mark for the misunderstanding. On the other hand, he quickly got into the back of the car to follow the kidnapper's trail. Just as Nick predicted, Viola is in Mark's hands and he wants to celebrate her birthday, even though the child is extremely scared. Very quickly, Nick called the police to report the address, and just a few minutes later, the evil kidnapper was arrested. Mark was extremely angry because he did not expect that his discreet actions would be discovered by a gas station attendant. Janny also received the news and ran to her daughter in unspeakable joy. Of course, she did not forget to thank Nick, a kind and brave person. Sometimes heroes do not necessarily wear capes,